session on cyber breach and IoT exploitations using SkillsDA virtual labs and cyber physical systems. SkillsDA is an edutech company focused on emerging technologies, especially cybersecurity, IoT, and blockchain. SkillsDA is a part of the ecosystem comprising of tactical simulation, cyber range, and information sharing and analysis center, which has a public-private partnership with National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center and also CERTIN and AICTE and MDI mandated to capacity building in cybersecurity to augment national security. SkillsDA is also the partner for NASCOM Future Skills, providing industry curated content and courseware to enable the learners be skilled and employable. The instructors for this session are Mr. Kottaram V. Ramesh. He is the Chief Vision Officer at SkillsDA. He essentially drives SkillsDA towards achieving the vision of being the pioneer in developing engaging learning systems, directing research, and curriculum development to ensure SkillsDA incorporates best practices and latest insights of pedagogy and andragogy to meet employer and employee standards. And we have Mr. Dinesh Kumar. He is security consultant at SkillsDA. Dinesh Kumar is an IT specialist with 7 years of professional experience in information security and technology risk management. He has experience in vulnerability assessment and penetration testing for applications, networks, wireless networks, and mobile applications. Over to you, sir, Mr. Ramesh.
Thank you very much, Anand, and good morning to everybody. Great pleasure to be in the midst of the SERI workshop today, which is very important as the country goes forward in its quest to become highly digitized and to be in the digital arena. Now, I will be sharing with you a very short video. That video will explain to you what the cybersecurity, cyber physical system is all about, and what do learners learn from there. And post that video, Dinesh will take over and he will conduct the session for the learners. For all those who have registered on this platform for the workshop, the first 5 minutes after my address, Dinesh will go through with you to check your systems and so that you are in readiness. And then the 5 workshops, the 5 labs will be rolled out one after other. Dinesh will take you through every lab. So when he works on the lab, you also work simultaneously in your machine. And post that 5 labs, there will be a quiz around 20-25 questions, simple quiz based on these labs, and the scoreboard will be visible, and you can go ahead and complete that. End of that, we will announce the first 1, 2, 3 winners of this quiz competition. And the lab will also be kept open for you for 1 week till this weekend up to Friday midnight this week. The labs will be open for you, so that post this you can go back again, try, practice, and come back to us. We have Dinesh's email ID, so anytime you can get back to him for any support. And we are all there available for you in this learning journey to become very good cybersecurity specialists, because cybersecurity is national security. Let me now take you through the video. Are you able to see it? No? Getting it now? So, just a glimpse of what SkillsDA's Center of Excellence in Cybersecurity is now in Chennai. These are the training classrooms where we train paramilitary forces and people, police officers. This is the SOC room. This is our simulator in which we train cybersecurity specialists and law enforcement officers, government officials. That is the Maharaja of Mysore. So this is the cyber physical system which we call the simulator, where 30,000 incidences can be created for both the blue teaming and red teaming activities. Turn your laptop. Okay. Yeah, so this is the simulator. I do not know if you could hear the audio as such, uh, but this is the program that we're going to roll out today on the virtual labs is completely based on the IoT functions in a smart city simulator. And Dinesh will now explain to you. I hope all of you are in readiness to begin the virtual labs, and we will do it in 5 minutes time. Over to Dinesh to start the virtual lab. Dinesh, can you come on the screen, please?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. And thank you all for joining us today. And we're going to discuss about some interesting topics in IoT exploitation. And we'll see what is IoT device and how it can be exploited and what are all the components associated with this IoT device and how we can make use of it, and being an hacker, how we can achieve our task on it. So let me just quickly share my screen so that you can see I hope everyone have access to the lab to your laptop, and you can access the virtual lab, and you can explore the IoT related challenges.
If there is any issue, you can always get on the chat and let us know if there is a problem so we can attend to that.
I hope everyone can see my screen. Okay. So today, we're going to discuss about this IoT exploitation. So in short, what is IoT device? So it is actually an embedded device. It is connected with sensors and actuators to actually collect the data from the source. It can collect the various data like environmental data or the health data or whatever the data. It can collect all the logs and it can send it to a controller. So that is actually the IoT device where the server is running and it will apply its own analytics and do a formalize of the data and it can produce a meaningful output out of it. So that is actually IoT device. It can be used in anywhere in the real world. So these IoT is actually growing in very faster way and it has a lot of real-time applications like it can serve in the health records and it can do a live monitoring of the system and in lot of even in car can be a in car we can use an IoT device so that will collect the real-time information about the moving position. So these are all the set of IoT devices. So how it is actually collecting the data? So in IoT devices, so for example, we will take Raspberry Pi as a IoT device. In that IoT device, so what we can do, so we can place one sensor inside it, and this sensor will collect the data. It is just nothing but it will act as a client, and it will collect all the data from that particular device, and it will send it back to the controller. So controller is nothing but where the server is running to analyze those data. So that is how this client and server model working in IoT data. How this communication is happening? So this communication is happening not the traditional protocol which is in the TCP model. So it is also a TCP model, but it is using a different protocol called MQTT, Message Queuing Telemetry Transport Protocol. So it is actually a lightweight protocol designed by IBM and released on 1999. And it is actually it is a clear text protocol and so what it will do, it will collect the data and send it to the server. And the transfer is actually a clear text, so we can visible if anybody get access to it to their local LAN or in the system where these IoT devices has been installed. We can actually sniff the data and see what is exactly the data transported between the server and client. So to mitigate this, what the people had did, they had started using the SSL certificate. This is same like HTTP and HTTPS. So MQTT protocol also can be incorporated with SSL certificate to mitigate this transport layer clear text visibility. So it's just a small introduction about the IoT device. And let's just quickly get into the lab. I hope everyone have access to the lab right now. Can you all see my screen, the challenge page? We can be an interactive session. You can raise your hand if you have any doubts or connectivity issues.
Anand, if you are able to see what the participants want to know, please let us know so that we'll be able to explain because we are not able to see the participants.
Sure, sure. I'll do that.
Great. So let me just quickly go through the lab. So the first lab we are trying to solve. So this is actually a cloud-based virtual lab which has been designed for the students to simplify the installation and configurations of the high-end like Kali Linux, installing VirtualBox and virtualizing the laptop. So it actually requires a lot of resources in their laptop. But here, what we had did, we had hosted everything on the cloud, and you just have to get access to this lab and start the attacker machine, and victim machine will be provided by default over here. You can start solving this on completely on browser based. You don't have to install any software. You don't need to tweak your laptop to do the rocket science. So the first challenge we are going to talk about today is MQTT reconnaissance. So before engaging into this challenge, so we'll just read the description first thoroughly to understand what has been provided and what is the ask to solve the particular challenge. So MQTT reconnaissance. Here MQTT is a, as I told before, it is actually a protocol which is used to do a communication between the client and server. And server is actually running on a particular port to listen to this service and consume the data from the sensors. So what had been asked over here is, in this lab, you will be required to do a reconnaissance of MQTT server running on the target host machine. So it confirms that there is a MQTT server running on the particular target. And what we have to do is and answer the required questions to pass the challenge. Okay. So this is the question which has been asked. Enumerate the MQTT server and find the number of topics. So topics. So topics in the sense one controller. One controller means one server of that IoT. We can call it as a controller over here, and this controller can have multiple sensors. So each sensors can be classified as a topic. For example, water level sensor. So we can identify what is the pH value of the particular water. You know that the pH value of the water need to be 7. If it is less than 7, it turns into alkaline, or if it is above 8, something like that, it will be converted into acid. So we can measure the water level through this water sensor. And we'll have the fire sensor in the building, and so on. These multiple sensors can be connected to a one single controller. So each sensor can be classified as a topics. So that is what over here, which has been asked over here, to identify what are all the topics running on that particular server. And the other question here is, what is the version of MQTT server is running? So we can, there is a different versions of MQTT server. Each has is mitigating the previous vulnerabilities which has been reported, and we can enumerate it. And the next one is, on what port is MQTT running? So generally, by default, the port assigned for this MQTT protocol is 1883. Even we can customize these ports, but let's see what is the port which is running over here, and how we can enumerate the service and version and so on and so forth. So there are certain instructions has been provided to you in this challenge page. You can read it out before getting access into this terminal, because there are prohibited activities and some of the restrictions has been there. And let me just quickly start this lab. So before starting the lab, you could see this, the status of this challenge over here. It says completed because I have already tested it for it. And if you could see in your home page, it says not completed. I'll just start this lab. Just few seconds, it will automatically start. Please start this lab in your login, everybody. Okay, so here after the lab has been initiated, you'll be provided with a target name over here. This is the target that we need to focus on. Here the MQTT server is running, which is already confirmed in the description. And we have a button, a link to access the attacker machine. If you click on that attacker machine, there will be a terminal will open on the browser window itself. So you can see it over here. You just press enter and see whether it is working for you. I'm just reading the release notes to check what is the version of the server and all. And so this is the attacker machine which we can use against this target. So this is the target that we are going to use it. I'm copying it to a notepad. Okay. So first what we need to do, we need to find what is the port used for MQTT. So generally how we can enumerate the list of ports which is running on that particular target. So we use Nmap. Nmap is actually a network mapper tool. It's a famous for doing a port scanning. So since we already know that MQTT has a default port number 1883, let's check that. So to reduce the noise, because if we also can do full port scan of 65,345 ports, but we can first check the default port whether it is opened and the particular service is running on this. I'm just using nmap -p 1883 is the default port, and I'm pasting the target over here and just running this port scan. It says that okay, host seems to be down. If it is really up but blocking your ping probes, it says that if the ping, maybe the target is blocked with the ping ports, we'll use the switch called -ping n not to ping the target and directly scan for this specific port. Okay, so this is saying the particular port 1883 is the port which is used for MQTT and it is open, and the service, yes, the MQTT service itself is running on this particular target. Okay, now we had identified the port number on MQ where the MQTT server is running. So we can say we'll type this port number 1883 over here and click on submit. Yes. If you did that, you will get a pop-up message saying that correct answer. So you also please check this and see if you can get the same correct answer result in your access. I hope everybody can follow. Please let me know that if I'm too fast on solving this. Because I don't see the participants. Okay, so let's move on to the next question to solve this. What is the version of MQTT server is running on the target? So how we can generally we can enumerate the version using nmap itself. There is one other switch called -sv to enumerate the services running on that particular port and what is the version of software had been used. So in the same previous command nmap -p 1883 -pn and the target name, we will use one more switch called -s and capital V. So what it will do, it will actually enumerate the software version installed on that particular port. Okay. Yes, I hope everybody can follow me. Please let me know that if you have any doubts or if you need any more explanation on this particular steps which I am performing. It's not about actually solving the challenges. It's you have to understand what is the exploitation process involved and how we can achieve it. Is there any other method to do it? You can raise any questions to me. Okay, so this is the particular version which is running on this target. So we can go back here and in the same input field, and you can see what is the version of the MQTT server running is 1.4.15, and click on submit. Okay, so it says that it is a correct answer and my flag is verified. Now we had solved the second question, and we'll get into the third question. There are three different questions has been asked in this particular MQTT reconnaissance. And the third question is enumerate the MQTT server and find the number of topics. So we have to enumerate the topics which has been configured on that particular server and reply with the submit the answer in numeric digits like one topic, two topic, or three topic, how much ever. So to do this, MNAP is providing us one more switch called -SC. So what this SC will do, it is actually uh, identify the scripts. Nmap has a predefined scripts installed in their repository. So it will actually search for the relevant script for this particular port and apply the script to enumerate whatever the possible information can be leaked without authentication. So we will use small s and capital C to execute the default scripts for this particular port. I'm executing this command nmap-p A1883 is a default port number for MQTT -pn -small sv for version enumeration and -small sc for running the default scripts. So it has been replied with a bunch of data over here. And if you could see the topics under most recent payloads. Okay, so we can actually sniff the data which is transmitting from the sensor and to the server. And it says that broker published bytes received some data has been transmitted from this client to the server, and we can find over here this is AQI sensor. AQI is good. AQI is nothing but air quality index. So this is one of the sensor placed, and it reports the data to the controller. Controller in the sense is a server. This is one topic, and as I told before, each sensor can be classified as one topics on this. And the other one is water sensor. Water sensor, it says that so this is the topic number 2, which can be, it is reporting the data to the server, and this is 2, and I guess we had missed out, if I missed out anything. Okay, here. Guys, are you all facing any problems like connection close or connectivity issue? Okay, one is the fire sensor. The other one is air quality index sensor. And what is the third one that we had seen earlier? Did we missed? Water sensor, right? Okay, here. Fire sensor, water sensor, and AQI sensor. So these are all the 3 different topics is reporting the data to that particular server. Can come back over here and we'll type the 3 in numeric because 3 different topics are here and see whether the answer is correct or not. Yes, the answer is correct, and you had successfully completed this MQTT reconnaissance challenge. So when you complete this challenge, you need to stop this lab to follow some basic hygiene. So let me check the chat box if anybody else is having any doubts on this or any problems on connecting this. You can access the lab using this labs.cyberrange.io URL. The logins will be provided to you in to your email. So please increase the font size on the terminal. Okay. Okay, since I stopped the lab and it is okay. So from the next challenges, I'll increase the font size on the lab. Is anybody can everybody can access the lab, right? Are you still facing connectivity issue or you don't know where to access the lab? You have to access the lab using this labs.cyberrange.io. You'll be provided with a login. You have to do login inside it and redirect to the IoT challenges. So in the left side, you can see the list of categories. This is the IoT. We are going to talk about IoT challenges today. Click on that IoT challenges, and the first challenge which we had solved right now is MQTT reconnaissance. We are finding what is the port number and what is the version and how many topics has been running on that particular MQTT server. So this is the challenge. We just solved it, and click on that view and you'll be redirected to the main description of this challenge where you can start the lab, submit your answer, and you will also find one more tab called solution over here, and this will take you through a one PDF and it has a list of steps on how to solve this particular challenge. I hope this set of queries has been addressed right now, and let's move on to the next challenge. Any doubts on this challenge, please let me know in the comment section. If anything need to be explained more. Okay, so I'm starting this challenge number 2. This one we can raise the level of severity and we'll try to solve some other interesting, quite hard challenge over here. We'll take MQTT dictionary attack. So the name suggests that MQTT dictionary attack, we are going to do a brute force of the certain things that we need to enumerate it. So we need to have a list of word list. We can download it from the internet using the common password or the relevant for that particular company. Or the word list can be anything that you need to prepare it according to the target by enumerating a lot of other information from the target resource. So if we are targeting any bank or any health sector, or your word list need to be crafted according to that particular company or particular location. So this one is actually a dictionary attack, and let's read out the description in clear. In this lab challenge, MQTT broker is running on the target. This is also confirms that the MQTT is already running on the target and you are required to find the credentials for that MQTT broker running on that machine. Okay, great. So we have to find the credentials, like credential is username and password to access the MQTT server. So this MQTT is password protected. What we can do, let's just quickly start this lab. So there is one button called attacker machine. If you click on that attacker machine, the terminal will be opened in the browser itself. So that's how you can access the attacker machine. And the target host name is provided in the once you started the lab, the target host name will be provided in the colored box. Like if it is in green color, you can find it over here. See, this is the target machine that you can hope the screen and you can see the font size increase right now. This is the target you can find. You can find the target only after starting the lab. And this is the attacker machine button. If you click on that attacker machine, one terminal will be opened on the browser in the next tab. Okay, and let's understand the question, concatenate and submit the found username and password. Okay, we need to find the username and password of the MQTT server running on this particular target. So we'll copy this target and paste it into a notepad. So before getting into brute forcing of that username and password, let's just confirm whether that particular server is running on the same port or it is on the different port. How we can do that? We can quickly confirm it through nmap. Nmap-p1883-sv to enumerate the service, and we'll paste the target. Okay, so we have to use the switch called -pn to do a ping scan. Okay, it has confirmed that the remote target is running an MQTT server on default port 1883 and TCP, and it is open. If you could look at here the -sv is not helping us to enumerate the particular version which has been installed because it is kind of securely configured. So we cannot extract the services version running on that remote target. So it is confirmed that port 1883 is running, and how we can do a brute force attack. There are a lot of other tools, Hydra, so many brute force are available in the Kali Linux. You can use any of the tool. But one useful tool, it is many of us you have come across the Metasploit framework. It is constructed over Ruby language, and it is a very good weapon for simulating these set of attacks and exploiting procedures. Before to that, we just check whether the particular word list, any word list available to help us on cracking this. So I'll be searching online to download a word list from the internet. Okay, so this is the word list I'll be using to do a dictionary attack. Let me just paste this link in somewhere. Okay, so I had updated on the chat box. Hope you all can access it. So I just quickly download this to my attacker machine. So to download it, we can use a command called wget space, and we'll paste this link and press enter. And it says the file has been downloaded, and you can see a file called wordlist.txt over here, and it is a text file. And let's see how many list of words are there. So 22 word list. Actually, it is a pretty small word list for the demonstration purpose. So we can use this as a word list to crack the username and password of that particular target. So I'll just quickly start the MSF console, the Metasploit exploiter. If you are facing any issues on connecting the lab, you just have to stop the lab and restart it again, or else log out from this browser and you will relog in it again. It will be resolved. So now the Metasploit has been started, and let's search any other module will help us to do this kind of MQTT. authentication scan. Okay, so here we had found one auxiliary module, auxiliary scanner MQTT connect. So we'll use this module, auxiliary scanner MQTT connect. So let's see what are all the options it requires to be enabled by default. I hope the screen is visible right now. So we need to, the mandatory fields are, we need to require to set the brute force speed. We can keep it to 5, no problem. And the other mandatory field is R host. We'll set the R host. Set R host. And as I told before, the target name, you can copy it from this challenge page. I'll just copy this and paste it over here. Press enter. Yes, R host has been defined. Let's check show options. And what is the other mandatory field that we need to enable is R port. R port is 1883, which we have just confirmed. Port 1883 is running in running on that remote server. MQTT is configured over there. And the other important thing is stop on success. So what it means actually is, if you found the username or password, so don't go further, you just stop giving the instruction to Metasploit to stop if you found the valid credentials. So I'm setting it stop on success true. Initially it was false because it will enumerate other possibility of credentials as well. So we just have to find one set of credentials. We're not interested in multiple credentials to be tested. So I'm setting this as true, so it will instruct the Metasploit to stop whenever it found the credential. And the other mandatory fields are like username, password. It is already defined over here, but we'll use our own customized username and password to crack this credentials. Set username file as word list, which we had downloaded now. Since it is in my local drive, the current particular working directory is the root directory. So it is placed over there. You can directly access the word list, or else you can give the complete path of that word list where they're located. If it is located on temp directory, you can set user file /temp/word list. I'm setting the pass_file, same word list. Let's quickly check all the mandatory option has been defined. R host is defined, word list is defined, and port is correct, and the user file is also defined. Let's just exploit this, and it has started to brute force the possible credentials. And yes, it stopped on the first success, and it says that a remote server is running on running with MQTT. Disconnected. I'll just redo it again, no problem. Anybody have any issues? So far it is nothing. Okay. Use auxiliary scanner MQTT connect. Set target name from here. I'm pasting the target, defining the host. Set user word list. Set pass_file as word list. And what are the other? Set stop on success true. Okay, So we'll exploit it. Yes. If you could see here, the password for authenticating into that remote server is admin and pass 123. So this is the credentials which we can use to access the MQTT server running on that remote target. We found this credential, and we can come here and submit it as an answer and see whether it is right or wrong. What is the username? Admin, and it is saying that concatenated submit. We don't have to use any separator like slash or colon or comma something. We can directly submit the username and password by concatenating it. Admin is the username and pass123 is the password. So we can submit and check whether this particular thing is correct or not. Yes, bingo, it is correct. And now we had solved this one more challenge. Anybody having any doubts on this? Can everybody follow me? So even if you couldn't solve it, or if you're facing any challenge, or you cannot communicate to me right here, you have my email ID and mobile number published over there. You can write to me, or you can just ping me. This lab will be accessible to you till this weekend, Friday midnight. So you can start solving this challenge, and you can post your doubts and queries and through the to my email ID dineshk@skillsda.com. So this one is completed. I'm closing this terminal. And whenever you completed the challenge, as I told before, you just stop this lab. And the next challenge we would like to explore. Okay, which one we would like to see here in this? Access control list. So it is actually quite easy. But this will help us to understand how the topic is working, and what is the accessibility between one topic to the other topic, and what is the user classification, and what is the privilege which has been assigned to that particular user, and can we bypass the privilege. Certain things we can understand from this access control list challenge. So this you can access it under this IoT challenge itself. This is if you could go to IoT challenges and scroll down, and you can see simulation. Under the simulation topic, you can see access control list. Okay, so let's read out the description first. And this lab is also part of the MQTT reconnaissance, and we will be looking at the access control list of the MQTT, answer the given questions to solve the lab. Okay, so this is also the remote target is running with MQTT server, and we just need to check the access control between the topics. So what are the question has been asked? For which topic Tom has a right permissions? If you read it twice, for which topic Tom has right permission? It says that Tom is a username which has already been configured over there, and we need to check whether Tom has access to few of the topics or all of the topics, or which topic he has access to. And the next question is, how many topics can you subscribe using user admin? Okay, so there is a one more user called admin, and it had been configured with certain set of topics. When I say topics, it's a different sensor. Sensor is nothing but it is a different environment, which it is actually collecting data from the different mode. So there is another user Tom for which topic Tom has read-only permission. Okay, so we understood that there are different set of topics has been configured with the two different username called admin and Tom. and we need to find out who is having what set of privilege over that topic. So we understood now, and let's just quickly start this lab. So far, I guess it is good. I don't see any doubts. Okay, so it is provided with a target name, access control, and some random values appended with it, and a link to the attacker machine. So the same way, the terminal will be opened on the browser itself, and you can use it to target your. Okay, so in this attacker machine, generally if you come across the web application related challenges or mobile exploitation related challenges, there is a proxy server. So it will do actually, it will sniff the traffic which is communicating between client and the server. But in here, that burp suit, Paros proxy, or else Zap, these are all the set of tools available to sniff the HTTP related traffics. But here in MQTT has a different tool called Mosquito. So what does the Mosquito will do? Mosquito will sniff the MQTT related traffics and observe what is the data transferred between the client and the server. Let's check whether Mosquito is installed and configured over here. Okay. Mosquito by default is not installed in Kali Linux. We have to install it. So to initiate the installation, I'm just updating the repositories first. Fire the command apt-get and update your repositories. Wait for a moment. Yes, it is updated right now. And install apt-get mosquito. Sorry, I missed out install. apt-get install mosquito. And yes, I want
Dinesh,
to
can you share
install
your
this
screen?
on this. Sorry?
Can you share your screen? It's not visible.
Was it? I have already shared my screen. Let me just stop the share and share it again. Screen is visible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I just installed Mosquito on that Kali machine, and I also need Mosquito client to sniff the traffic or subscribe to the traffic or publish the traffic. Here you can call it as a sub and a PUB. Like subscribe to the traffic topic is nothing but listening all the topics which is transmitted between client to the server and pushing the you can also push the values using Mosquito publish to uh, publish the records from this server to the client. If we take it install, Mosquito hyphen clients. Installation is pretty straightforward over here. You just have to fire the command and press the Y button to continue. And yes, it is installed right now. Both Mosquito and Mosquito clients has been installed. And let's just quickly check whether the remote target is running with the MQTT on the same port or in a different port. I'm just copying the target name. nmap -p1883 hyphen small s capital V hyphen capital P and N, not to do a ping scan on the target. Let's check whether the remote target is running with the MQTT server. Yes, MQTT is running on port 883, the default port. From this client, we will start sniff the traffic of that MQTT protocol using Mosquito. So Mosquito is the command underscore subs. Subscribe is nothing but you can listen to all the traffic which is passed to that particular remote server. Mosquito underscore sub, and we'll use a switch called -t. So if we don't know what is the topic which has been configured over there, you can use the uh, hash sign to subscribe to all the topics. Irrespective of the sensor, you can, if you don't know what is the particular topic you want to see, you just fire the command -t hash in a double quotation, and you can see a list of topics configured on the remote server. And you need to configure the username. -small, use the switch to configure the username. We had seen over there two different users, right? In the question, if you could see here, user Tom is one of the user and user admin is the next user, two users. So let's just see what is the privilege for admin user first. And -u admin -h the host, and we will paste this broker or the controller -h, and I'm increasing the verbosity using -v, and I'm pressing the enter, and let me see what are all the topics and what is the data has been published. So if you could see over here, the first topic is weather. Weather is the topic, left side is the topic, and rainy is the value published to that server by the sensor. And sports is the next topic, and it is publishing the data as India versus Australia is the match. And the other one is confidential message for admin. So this topic is not in the clear text. Maybe this sensor has a communication encryption has been incorporated between the client and the server. So we cannot see here what is the message transferred. So we found that two different topics for now, actually three different topics. One of the topic is confidential, which is the topic name cannot be disclosed over here. So I'm just quitting this for a while. And we found that what we had found from this command we had executed, we found three different topics, and two different topics are visible, and the one of the topic is confidential, since it might have enforced any transport layer encryption. What is the first question we need to solve? How many topics can you subscribe using user admin? So I had used over here user as admin. So this admin has access to three different topics. So I'm just entering the numerical value 3 because it is asking us to do a numeric value, and click on submit. Yes, it is correct. So it says that the answer is correct, and admin has access to three different topics. And the next one is there is another user Tom, for which topic Tom has or read-only access. We'll come back to this little later. And the next question is for which topic Tom has write permission. Okay, so now to check whether that Tom has a write permission or read permission, we need to understand first what are all the Tom topics which as Tom can see. Admin can see all the module, that is by default. And let's see what the user Tom have access to. Instead of admin over here in the username switch, I'm just changing it to Tom and enter. Same command, mosquito underscore sub-t, subscribe to all the topics, and username user is Tom, and host is the target name, hyphen v is to increase the verbosity. Here, the user Tom have access to sports and weather, only two different topics, and he don't have access to the topic which is confidential message for admin. So only two topics he have access to. I'll just quit this and get back to this question. For which topic Tom has write permission? So as I told before, SUB is for subscribe and PUB is for publish. So we can check whether this particular user Tom has a write permission to for that particular topic to modify the data on that server. So to check that, we'll use the command called mosquito underscore pub hyphen t, and this time you don't have to put the hash because you have to specify on which topic you want to do a write. So under double quotation we can see two different topics, right? One is sports and the other one is weather. First we would like to try with the sports double quotation, close the double quotation, hyphen u Tom and hyphen h the host I'm pasting the host name and the message hyphen m. So hyphen m is the command we can use as to send the message to that particular topic. Okay, here I am firing this command. I just want to see whether it is published onto the remote server, whether it is vulnerable or it can accept the attacker crafted value, or it is configured securely to only accessible to that accepting the data from that particular sensor. To check that, I'm opening one more console. I'm going back to the same challenge page over here and clicking on the attacker machine and accessing the one more console in the browser. And here what I'm doing is I'm just subscribing to that particular topic hyphen t hash hyphen u tom hyphen h a target host name. I'm copying it from the challenge page and pasting it over here and hyphen v to increase the verbosity. Okay, here user Tom have access to different topics, and topics values is per keep on publishing to the server, and we are sniffing the data from the attacker console. And from the attacker console, the other console which we had, we are sending a message called hey to the particular remote server. We're checking whether this remote server is having a write privilege for that particular sports topic. Okay, so it is having some error. Oh. Just give me a minute. I'm checking, troubleshooting this error. Okay, sorry. So the verbosity hyphen V is to increase the verbosity of when we are subscribing to the topic. It will not work in publishing the message to the server. So I had mistakenly included hyphen V switch over here. I'm removing it now, and I just sent a message to the server for to the particular topic called sports. A message is hi using the user Tom. So let's see whether we had seed in this particular topic. Yes. So the other which we had executed here, If you could see in the sports topic, I had sent a message called hi. I'm redoing it again, sniffing the traffic and sending a one more message called you are hacked. Yes, for this particular topic, for this particular sensor, I can send a data to the server without any authentication. So this is the one vulnerability that any attacker can sniff that topic name and the other username details and publish the message to the server. So the server will consume this as the valid message and ignore the other message. So what if it is displaying the this value, like today is the match is India versus Australia, and you are updating it as some other data and publishing it to the end user. So it will be a messy situation. So these set of vulnerabilities can be exploited in the IoT devices. So you now user Tom have access to the sports topic, and we had seen one more topic over here called weather. So let's see, we have access to this. The same command I'm executing, and let it run. And instead of sports here in the one more terminal, I am publishing the message to the topic called weather. I have published the message called your hack, and if you could see, the weather don't have the right privilege to the user Tom. So here I haven't used any username or the password for to get publish the message. I just use the username on that particular configured on that particular remote server and try to publish the message. But for one topic, the sports topic, the user Tom can publish the message, and they can publish whatever the message which is sending to the server. And but the weather is configured securely, it will not accept the data using the username called Tom. So it has been implemented with certain access control to restrict these kind of malicious activities. So it is confirmed that for which topic Tom has right permission. Obviously, sports is the topic. Tom can write any message and publish it to the server. And let's check whether it is right or wrong. Yes, it is correct. Tom has access to the sports topic. And how many topics it is already solved. And there is another user Tom for which topic Tom has read-only permission. Weather is the topic where Tom has the read-only permission. He cannot write any data to the topic called weather. So we'll try weather. Yes, this is also correct. So the user admin has three different topics, and we had seen right now topics in the three different sensors. The user Tom has two different topics. One is sports and the other one is weather. And Tom has a right permission on sports topic, and he don't have access to the weather topic. So this is confirmed from this challenge. And we had enumerated how to subscribe to the MQTT message and how to sniff the traffic between the client and the server using Mosquito. How to publish that message if poor permission has been configured, and how to subscribe to the message to listen what are all the topics and what is the value passing to that from the client to the server. So one more challenge we just had solved. Any doubts? How to place the attacker target machine. You can just copy and paste it to the, you can copy it over here from this challenge page. Just select it and Control C, or you can right click and copy it, and you can come across here, and in this terminal you can paste it using Shift Insert. It will help us to paste the values, or you can do a right click and use the paste option. So in two ways you can paste the target machine host name or any command that you are copying. And lab 404 not found nginx error. You just stop the lab or else log out from this browser and relog in it again. Stop the lab and restart the lab again. It will be resolved. And for 404 errors, just stop the. Okay, so Vivek is also helping me on answering these queries. Thank you, Vivek. So I'm exiting from here and stopping this lab, access control lab. So we had successfully solved the three different challenges. We'll see one more challenge called controller broker sensor setup. So this is also a IoT related system. So what we had seen, what we had learned from the last three different topics, we had learned what is MQTT and what is the default port used on MQTT, and whether MQTT protocol can be brute forced, and what are all the tools which is available to sniff the MQTT traffics, and how we can publish our own record to that particular server. And then we'll move on to the other same MQTT related task, controller broker sensor setup. The same way you can go to the IoT related challenges. And this one is classified as a medium severity. This is the first topic in this IoT related challenges. Just click on the view and it will redirect to the description page and the other details of this particular challenge. Any questions? Okay. So let's read out this description in detail. In this lab, we will tamper the MQTT transmitted data to generate a false alarm. Okay. In the victim machine, you will get a node-RED dashboard, which is password protected and should be left untouched. You need to navigate to the UI of the node-RED platform, where we will see the sensor dashboard where the data is being received and displayed. Okay, and you need to tamper the value that is sent through MQTT, resulting in the display of false values. So that will result in triggering a false alert. Okay, so it is confirming that, so there is an MQTT data is transferred to a particular sensor. It is actually displaying the value of that. It will sense the data from the sensor and redirecting value to the controller, where the broker, we can call it as a broker. And this result is getting published in a particular display about the voltage. So the victim has okay, here they had provided one more machine called the victim machine. Let's just start this lab and understand how many machine is there. And this submit answer is saying this challenges no questions to submit. All we have to do is we just have to make that display to trigger the false alarm. So that is the challenge. If we could able to make the false alarm in this target machine, this challenge will be completed. Okay, so attacker machine usually will get Kali Linux, and it has been accessible right now. Yes, it is fine. And the next thing is the victim machine. So here we have access to the victim machine. So as it says, In the victim machine, you'll get a Node-RED dashboard, which is password protected. Yes, the victim machine is a Node-RED dashboard and it is a password protected, and should be left untouched. Okay, we are not going to do anything with this, and you need to navigate to the UI of the Node-RED platform. Okay, so the description says that you have to get into the user interface of the Node-RED platform. Let's try with the same name UI over here and press enter. Okay, so when we use the UI, it will automatically redirect to the voltage meter. So this voltmeter, what it will do, it will gauge the voltage fluctuation on that particular network in the circuit. So currently the voltage meter is in 200 to 220. It is reasonable volt, and all the devices connected in the circuit is secured, and it will now go on fire or bust. Now, what we have to do, we have to trigger a false value, publish the false value to that voltmeter, and make the voltmeter to trigger a false alarm to that particular display. For that, what we can do using attacker, first we need to sniff what is the data is transferred between this server to this display. To do that, as I told before, we need a command called mosquito. Mosquito is a sniffer and publisher. So since it is not installed in Kali by default, we have to install it. apt-get update. You need to update the repositories each and every time because it is reloading it for the first. Yes, repository is updated. apt-get install mosquito, and I'm giving yes confirmation to proceed with this installation. Same way I did it in the previous challenge. And now I'm installing the clients, mosquito client. Okay, so I had installed both mosquito and mosquito clients in this Kali Linux. Now it is up and ready to sniff the traffic from that particular topic. So let's start this service first. To check whether it is running. Okay, it is not running right now. And start this server. We'll check the status. Yes, mosquito service is running right now. Here it is the victim machine, and let's just listen to this particular on this what are all the topics and what is the value it is consuming from the controller. To do sniff the traffic, you always need to go for mosquito sub, that is subscribe. -T is the switch is used to subscribe to all the topics, and the port number we can give it over here as 1883, where the mosquito is running. Sorry, the MQTT is running. -H is the host. The host name is the victim host name we need to provide, which I just copied from the URL. So this is the IP which I got it from here. And you can copy the victim IP address, that 167.99.71.225. You can copy that IP from that. This URL you can access it by clicking on the victim machine. Okay, so when you click on the victim machine, you'll be redirected to one of the URL that is actually Node-RED dashboard. And if you once you reach to this Node-RED dashboard, Yes, once you reach to this noded dashboard, it will ask the username and password. And you can go here in the URL field and just type the UI. So this UI, I got it from the description itself. You need to navigate to the UI of the noded platform. So I just did, and I'm redirected to the volt meter. So voltage monitor about the current electricity, which has been implemented on the particular circuit. Now here using the mosquito command, mosquito subscribe command, what I'm doing, I'm just subscribing to that particular topic and see what are all the values has been transmitted to that victim machine. Mosquito underscore sub hyphen t to subscribe to all the topics using hash as a command hyphen p 1883 hyphen h the host name. You just have to paste the target host name over here, and to see the verbosity use hyphen v. Okay, I had made some mistake. Okay, so I need to give a space in between hyphen p and the port number. Okay, so it says the input voltage is 200, which we had seen over here. It is fluctuating between 200 to 220. Someone had published a message 400. Okay, so here input voltage is spiked up to 400. See, it is consuming the data from the server and publishing it as a 200, 215, and 220. So this is the value passed to that voltmeter. So what if we can pass the value which we had crafted? So if we pass the voltage value to the like 1000 or 1500 something, it will the voltmeter will spike up to the and then start disclosing the false alarm to that administrator. So let's try to do that, and we'll go back to the attacker machine. We'll open the one more terminal in the attacker machine, and we'll pass the value using mosquito publish, that is pub mosquito underscore pub hyphen t, and the topic name over here is input voltage. So this is the topic name, and the numerical value called 200, 220, 400. This is the value which is passed to that particular topic. I'm giving it as under double quotation input value. You can copy it and paste it using right click, or you can copy it using control insert and paste it using shift insert. And I'm mentioning the topic name and hyphen M to send the message. So this we had used it already. So I'm trying to give a message, voltage spike as 500, and the host name is, I'm copying the IP address and pasting it over here, and let's see whether this particular message has been published to that dashboard. Yes. Okay, so it has been. Yes, if you could see that danger high voltage, even though the circuit is consuming only the regular voltage, but the voltmeter is spiked up to 500 because we just passed the false value to that particular voltmeter. So this is actually, it will generate a false alarm. See, so many people had initiated this, and it is spikes up to continuously blinking to 400, 444. So this is the false alarm. It has been generated using this IoT device exploitation. Okay. And now it is completed, and there is no specific challenge has been, questions has been asked over here. We just have to trigger the false alarm. I hope everyone can exploit this. I had seen a lot of danger, high voltage, false alarm message from this dashboard. So many people, I guess, are executing this command. Okay, I hope this one is clear right now. So many people, yes. Cool then. I guess we are good to move on to the next challenge. The final challenge which we can see. So this is quite different comparing to the other challenges. Like so far we had seen the MQTT protocol and IoT related devices. But in this IoT exploitations, there is a one more reverse engineering activity is also there. That is called firmware extraction. Firmware is nothing but in regular systems we used to call it as an OS, but in the customized embedded device, which is having sensors and the actuators, it is called as firmware. So the firmware is nothing but it's an operating system customized to that particular system to do perform certain set of operations. Let me just quickly stop this lab. And I'm going back to same IoT challenges in the dashboard. We'll get into this firmware sensitive information retrieval. We need to extract some set of information from that particular firmware. So there are a lot of tools available as in the market and as open source to extract the firmware content. So let's use one of the tool called Firm Walker. So we will use it against one of the particular file system and see whether we can extract the required information from the target. So let's understand the description and what is the question has been asked. And it says Firm Walker uses a simple bash script for searching the extracted or mount a firmware file system. Okay. Users can search for a sensitive information such as passwords, binaries, IP, certificates, configuration files, and email addresses using using firmwalker extract email address from the squash fs-root. Squash fs is the provided in the firmwalker directory. Check whether snhenson at gmail.com is present in the output file firmwalker.txt. The answer should be simple, yes or no, whether that SN Henson is available in that firmware or it is not. So what we have to do, we just have to use the firmwalker bash script which has been provided in the target machine, and we have to extract this particular email ID is available in that or not. Start this lab. So what the script will do, the script will go back to that firmware, the file system. So Squash FS is actually one of the file system used in Linux. So what it will do, it will actually search the complete set of directories and files and configurations everywhere and find the relevant values like email IDs, passwords, the terminology called sensitive data or email, the contact information. There are classified informations can be identified using the keyword. So this keyword has been updated in that bash script, and we can extract it using a search command. So let's go to the attacker machine and see what is present over here, ls-la, to check what are all the files which we can have access to here. Uh, entry point.sh. So this is a Kali Linux. check whether you all have access to that firm walker directory in your root system, even root file directory.
Yes, can you reload the challenge?
Yeah, I'm just stopping the lab. Okay, so the attacker machine, and this is the victim machine. Let me check whether the firm walker is available here. Okay, so when you have access to this victim machine, you'll find a folder called firm walker. So change to this firm walker directory. Firm walker is the tool which we can use it to extract the useful information from the particular file system. Here, as mentioned in the description, there is a firmwalker.sh is a bash script provided to extract the set of sensitive information from the squash fs-root file system. What we have to do, we just have to run this firmwalker and pass the input as squash fs-root directory and see what are all the juicy information we can extract out from this file system. It is running out, and we'll wait for the command to complete. Yes, the command has been completed. And let's check, is there any other output file has been created? Yes, one firmwalker.txt has been created. So this contains the list of extracted data from this file system. And what was the ask is, check whether snhansen@gmail.com is present in the output file firmwalker.txt. We just have to check whether this particular email ID is present in the target name. Okay, so we will open this firmwalker.txt using cat command, and so it has a lot of useful information, but we can use a grep command, grep as a switch, and find whether this particular snhansen@gmail.com is present in that firmwalker.txt file. Okay, so it is confirming that this particular email ID is available in this output file. So we can extract the snhansen@gmail.com on from that particular firmware file system. So likewise, we can extract other informations like password if it is there, any user password is configured, or any other sensitive details, card numbers, any other data which has been classified as a sensitive is available in that firmware. We can extract it using the firmwalker. All we need to have a patient and look the information correctly. Okay, now yes, we had found this email ID SN Hansen, and we'll input the value as S because it is saying over here whether yes or no. So we are inputting the value as S to check whether this particular challenge we can able to solve it. Yes, it is says it's a correct answer, and we had successfully solved this one more challenge. Now that we had come across this 5 different challenges which is relevant to the IoT exploitation, please let me know if you have any doubts. I hope everybody can solve the final challenge as well, this firm walker extraction. It is quite straightforward and easy to solve this. Later you can understand what is the firm walker.sh will do. It is nothing but it will just read out, hop into the all the directory, and it will extract the open and see whatever the sensitive files which is been installed or written over there, and it will open the files and extract the data based on the keyword. So that is the job of this firmwalker.sh bash script will do. And using this squash, using this firmwalker.sh, we had completely enumerated this squash file system and found that email address, and along with the email address, few other sensitive informations also extracted from there. So these are all the other email address and URLs. These are all the URLs has been accessed. Maybe it may have some classified information. Yeah, so this is how you can extract the values from that particular file system. So now we had solved this all the challenges for today. So please let me know if you have any doubts or anything, any specific topics that you have a doubt on to be explained more. I'm just quickly closing this lab. So before closing this session, I would like to say that so Raspberry Pi and Arduino is one of the famous devices which are being used in IoT project implementation. So you can, it is available in Amazon. You can buy it and you can configure your own set of IoT related projects, and if you could explore more and you can learn the IoT related communications and what is the real time projects we can implement using this set of devices. So thank you all for joining us today, and I'm just switching the screen to the quiz, so you all can just participate in the quiz and answer the questions, and we'll publish you the results in some time. And write to me if you have any doubts. I'm publishing the quiz link in the chat box itself. I hope everyone have access to. Hello? I'm starting the quiz session by 1:10 in a minute. No, I'm sure. Yes. Now the quiz is ready to accept the inputs. Please just reload this page and start answering to the questions. By the time I'll respond to the queries which has been. Yes, you can use the grep command, or you can use any other find or grep-i to extract the information from that firm walker. Sir, in the last challenge by the attacker machine is provision to us. In certain cases, the two different attacker and victim machines by default installed in that challenge. So, firm walker, as I told before, it is actually search for the keywords on that particular file system. So, it is actually a script. This what the script will do. It will run through the complete file system architecture. File system architecture and open all the read all the files and find out is there any sensitive data based on the keywords like how the email id pattern should look like and what is the password configuration file ends with .conf and what is the password file if is there any password hard coded password is there in that configuration file. Such things can be extracted using this firm worker bash script. So that is the main function. And what it will do, it will automate instead of we are opening, going each and every folder and opening the files and see what is the content inside it. And we can automate this process using this firm worker.sh script. Of course, you can use MQTT protocol in Raspberry Pi. You can install the Raspbian OS and connect it with the clients or any other different sensor. You can start communicating or collecting the data through sensor and processing the data to a display. So there are a few other challenges also available in this lab. You can explore more like web application and reverse engineering, social engineering. So you have access to all the challenges till this Friday midnight. You are free to very welcome to explore all other challenges as well. Instead, even in IoT related challenges, there are a few other challenges is pending. You can explore that and enhance your skills. I hope everyone can respond to that quiz. Last 5 minutes.
So learners have another 1 minute to go to complete the quiz. This is just a inaugural session, and uh, it is just a knowledge check. This is not about any assessment. And as we said, you can reach us out, and we'll be able to support you in all these five labs and more. Yes, all the learners mapped on this will be given a participation certificate. We will discuss with Mr. Anand Prakash and team, and see how best this can be facilitated and sent quickly. But we'll still wait for you to complete all the five labs in this week's time.
Okay, time's up. I'm just stop accepting the responses. Thank you.
Are you publishing the results now, the 1, 2, 3 now, Dinesh?
We'll publish the top 1, 2, 3 little later. Let them have their own results. By default, it will be published to them.
Okay, so Anand, back to you. This is the end of the session, and thanks again for DSCI and SERI team for this opportunity given to SkillsDA, and we really look forward to more interaction, and we will touch base, and we'll work with you more in now and in the future. Do get back to us in terms of any requirement from the learners. And let me tell you, the ID will be Dinesh Dinesh K. So I've put in the chat dineshk@skillsda.com. So that is the ID that all learners, registered participants can come in and send email, or then ask him for his WhatsApp, and try and solve these 5 labs within this week. They have been given 5 full days to do it. So enjoy working on the labs. Thanks, Prakash. Anand, Prakash, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to Mr. Dinesh for the hands-on session. And as sir said, the virtual labs will be accessible until Friday, 18 December. So the attendees can explore the tools and techniques that they have learned in the workshop. Thank you for attending the session. Thanks to the SkillsDA team for the wonderful session. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, Dinesh, and thanks, Vivek and Kumaran, for the support.
Thank you.
Thank you, panelists, and thank you, Anand.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all.